just in case you hadn't heard, because she's talking about it a lot in the media, and I just read an article, or part of an article, in the Tory-graph about it. Theresa May is diabetic. Insulin-dependent diabetic as well. Let's just give you an idea of what some of that means, because I'm insulin-dependent diabetic as well. It means using this quite a bit. If you've never seen one, I'll tell you what one is. It's a blood glucose monitor. Let's just press that and just see what it checks itself. And with a bit of luck, it will show me, if I go into the memory, that was my last blood glucose at a particular time. Well, there you go, a little bit of diabetic technology for you. Yeah. Now let's leave the diabetic technology alone for a minute, and let's just put another fact before you. This is a fact. This is about somebody who was also a diabetic. Yeah. He was called David Clapson, and Ian Duncan Smith, when Cameron was in charge, managed to kill him. Yeah, and a lot of other people as well, because David Clapson couldn't keep something really special cool in a fridge. Let me show you what that something really special is for diabetics. And as I show you it, I'll make another point as well. It's this stuff. There you go. It's available to me at the moment. I say at the moment, free on NHS prescription. Not just this stuff as it looks in here. This is insulin, of course. And here's the way we inject it. Yep. This is a short-acting insulin, and it's called Nova Rapid. Yep. Now that 16 sugar that you saw earlier on will be dealt with, or is being dealt with, by clicking some more of these units on this selector here. Notice it clicks. That's for when we go blind, because diabetes will make us go blind if we don't control it. It will also wreck our kidneys. It will also lead to amputations, and it affects us psychologically as well. Yep. So here's probably what Terry does. She injects, say, 5 times a day. Well, you might not be able to see it very well, but look, there's the needle, very fine. Yeah, you draw up the dose, and then you inject it. So we know Theresa May is diabetic, and we know that she uses insulin. This is a long-term insulin, which is a kind of a background insulin. Yep. Okay, something about diabetes. Time just for a quick slurp on the tea. You see, it's okay for Theresa May being insulin-dependent diabetic. I have been since I was 21 years old. I got my diabetes shortly before I graduated with my first degree. I was studying at Leicester Polytechnic at the time. I remember a great guy who diagnosed it. His name was Dr. Dutter. And I was actually studying in the School of Education, Humanities and Social Science. And, okay, there's a lot to learn about diabetes, but you can live with it, yeah? You can live with it as long as you actually get the ability to inject this stuff and manage the other associated conditions it can and does lead to. Retinopathy in that eye. It's cost the government a bit of money to treat me, but that's all right. I paid in for that treatment. But if left untreated, the retinopathy will destroy the eyesight in that eye completely, and it will start on the eyesight in the next eye. Yeah. If left untreated, the diabetes will probably kill you through what is called hyperglycemia. Your blood becomes so sugary that it can't release the energy, if you like, to make your brain function, your other organs function. And you go into what is called ketoacidosis, and the ketones, these acidic substances in your blood, will break down fat to release energy, the fat in your tissues, quite literally, And as a byproduct of that, they'll produce other nasty byproducts and whatever that will, if left untreated, eventually kill you. I have no idea how David Clapson died. I know this, though. I know that he was a soldier who served this country. And by the way, this is just Jane, my Lancaster bomber mug that I collected from the Lancaster Museum out at Kirby. Yeah. So I know his death was related to his diabetes, and also it was related to the fact that he didn't have any electricity to work a fridge, so he couldn't keep this stuff, insulin, cool. Yep. Now let's just be quite clear on that. One final means of explanation, okay? Only generally the stuff we keep kind of as a batch needs to specifically be stored in a fridge. Yeah? It is wise to keep it out of hot places, because that can affect it. Yeah? So if you're travelling with insulin and whatever, you may want to consider a cool bag or some kind of container for it. But what we're talking about is the bulk of the supply, if you like, that we leave behind in, well, I'd put it in the crisper drawer of the fridge. Yeah. So you can, of course, travel with insulin. I expect Theresa May can. I'll be honest with you, I inject the stuff all over the place. Not all over the place on my body, but if you ever spend any time with me and see me about to eat a meal or something, I'll have a quick look at how much carbohydrate there is in the meal. You'll see me do that. You might even see me use this stuff and do a blood test, yeah? And then I will inject. Couldn't care less. I really couldn't care less. I'm not particularly bothered if people see me injecting. I do not care. Yep. Doesn't matter. I've done it all my life. I inject to stay alive. But please, let's not get all sympathetic for poor diabetic Theresa May. That's quite good, that's sympathetic for the diabetic. Thousands, hundreds of thousands of us, my oldest son included, deal with this illness every day. My first wife was diabetic. Only one of our sons has got the disease. His brother hasn't at the moment. But there's no guarantee that he wouldn't at some stage get it. Yeah, there's an awful lot of research being done into it. Yeah, it's probably one of the largest killers alongside heart disease. Hey, guess what I've got as well? Yes, I've got heart disease. Yeah, managed at the moment by coronary artery bypass graft. Yeah, but please don't go into this maze trying to say, I'm a human being, just like you, and I've had it really tough as a Prime Minister, and it really must be upsetting my diabetes with all this extra stress. Stress can have an effect on your diabetes. Stress can have an awful lot of effect on an awful lot of things, but Mrs. May, maybe your diabetes is being a bit upset by all the stress, yeah? But what about people like David Clapson, who could no longer control his blood sugar because it was hot weather and he didn't have a fridge to keep the insulin he'd have to use cool? He died. Other disabled people are dying. You've killed enough of us through your planned poverty. How long before you come for me? How long before somebody else with a serious mental and physical health condition is told by the DWP, work or starve? How long before you cut even this that keeps me alive available free on prescription? How long before I can no longer buy this because apparently I have to pay you back, according to the DWP, some fictional overpayment? Enough said on that, because that is probably going to go to court. Yeah? Right? But you want, don't you? You want the likes of us who inject this. You want the likes of us who use mobility cars and whatever, you want us dead, don't you? You're taking them back so that we do die. You want us dead. For crying out loud, Theresa May. Go. Be gone. And let this country be governed by somebody who cares for the many, not the rich few. Don't parade your diabetes to try to get sympathy when you show no respect or sympathy to disabled people as we die. And you're killing us. It's part of your policy of eugenic social cleansing to kill those of us who display this emblem. You are killing us and saving your billionaire friends. I have no sympathy for you. Please do pass this on, because reading stuff like that about Theresa May makes me really angry. Bye.